Alright guys, we are back. I'm your boy D'Anthony. I'm my boy Don here.
What's up?
We are Break Room Blitz. Rules on the channel. So we're going to have a discussion here. So we want to engage with people, okay? So, but at least, if we make you at least smile, a little smirk, or smirk? Or you laugh, go ahead and hit that like button. We appreciate it. That's all it costs you. You at least owe us that, okay? And if we make you think, or disagree, but you gotta be thinking at the same time, though. Don't be coming with no dumbass comments, okay?
How do I put this slightly? Dumbass.
And if you just want to see our faces every week, you already know what to do. Hit that subscription button with that notification bell, and poof, pow, in your face.
Whammy.
We're bringing you the goodness, okay?
Alright.
Alright, so, White Boy Rick. We got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's just, go into who's in it at least.
Yeah, so major actors, we got Matthew McConaughey. He plays the dad in this movie. We got White Boy Rick. He's played by Richie Merritt. Brand new face. And then we got the Black Power Ranger in the recent movie, R.J. Seiler.
Right.
So that's
do a synopsis without reading it. What did you think it was about?
So basically...
Oh, wait. This is spoilers.
This is spoilers.
Read the actual title.
And we did a non-spoiler one if you just want to see that. And, we'll tell you whether or not it's good to go see the movie or not.
Right.
So, just off of trailers alone, I like these kind of movies just because it's bottom of the barrel, going into some corrupt side of things and trying to come up. So I like that. The hustle side of me, at least, just likes to see, actual stories that played out, different ways. So this movie, it reminded me a lot of Blow, just seeing it in the trailers, Dad, we got to do something. We got to get out of this, and seeing this little white boy playing with the big ballers and then coming up in his own league of his own. But then obviously getting hubbed and, getting knocked out, put in jail. So, synopsis, there you have it. That's what I thought of it.
All right, so my synopsis, white boy gets in the game with some black dudes. Yeah. Because I don't want to say what I want to say, but the black dudes. Mm-hmm. And he tries to come up a little bit, but he finds himself in some trouble, some deep trouble. And you guys saw the trailer. Mm-hmm. His fathers don't want him to sell no drugs. Right. That's the big boy leagues. Mm-hmm. Or at least get you some big boy time.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much about that. It's his 4-year span of being in the game, mm-hmm. and what his experience was. So we're gonna just talk about it. Did you think that was he believable? Did it seem like someone that could be in the hood and get respect from some thug dudes?
I think during that time that it takes place, it does seem believable, just because there are some other younger black kids in the game, and he's taking his side hustle that his dad does selling guns to them. So it's it's a collaborative mission that they're on, basically,
Right.
And so his acting chops, I think, are pretty legitimate. I bought him being in that scenario. He doesn't look like much, and he just looks very meek and humble almost, just kind of dumb. He's a little dummy a little bit, doesn't know what he's really getting into, because he's out of school, he's not going to school, and this is the way that he has to hustle, basically.
I agree with you, except for the part when he actually went to jail. Mm. The fact he had zero emotion on his face. This kid's the most nonchalant kid. When you're in the streets in the hood, I guess you're supposed to look like that, nothing bothers you, nothing phases you. But when you get behind bars, and especially for, he didn't really do anything it wasn't violent.
Right.
He didn't really slang that much drugs. I felt like, at least for me, if I got life.
Well, they told him
I'm crying.
What the last thing that they actually arrested him for was a lot. It was about 8 kilos or something.
Yeah, but he wasn't this millionaire. He just had that sitting there.
He wasn't flossing or nothing like that. Yeah.
Right. He wasn't no big baller. He just had some extra stash.
Right.
So that's the only thing I would kind of say that part I didn't like.
Yeah, no, I do feel you on that. Just because when they do show him in prison, he's just kind of Put my head down, eating alone kind of thing. The only part I felt was when you brought it up, like the whole dad scene when dad goes to visit him. But then, he's kind of in tears, and I mean, he's not really breaking down, but
that was a little better. I'm like, okay, finally, some emotion.
Right.
But other than that, I thought he did a really good job. His sister did a good job.
Yes.
Matthew McConaughey, I thought, did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he needed to be in it.
Okay.
It wasn't a big enough story for me, but maybe, he had talked to, I always want to say Pickle Rick. Maybe he talked to White Boy Rick.
Yeah.
And then it kind of touched him, and they wanted to make the movie. I don't really know what the story is behind it, but I felt like maybe he didn't have to be the one to do it. But I thought that what he brought to the story, was very dynamic. He was a broken dad that made some mistakes, but he was trying to keep his head up. Yeah. He was trying to do the right thing, and I can always respect that, because you could just kind of like, internalize everything and roll up in the corner and be, sad and depressed all the time.
Right.
But his dad always tried to, have dreams, and I love the fact that he would say, "We are lions."
We're lions, yeah. Lions don't leave the Serengeti.
I'm a lion. I'm a lion, bruh. I'm a lion. I'm a king. I'm a ruler.
Right.
That's how I think. I don't beg for nothing. I don't growl for nothing. If I want something, I go get it. I go get the means to go get it all the time. So I love that. Yeah. And I hope that people that are watching that actually take that away from the movie.
Yes.
Is to be a damn lion. Don't be no sheep.
No.
Definitely don't be no sheep.
No.
Be something else. Be anything else but a sheep, okay?
Right.
Unless you're trying to get to the Lord. Then you can be Lord Sheep. But other than that,
right.
Think. Yes. Be a lion. Search yourself. So I did like that part, and I love how even though he was broken, he never gave up on his family.
That's right. Yeah, he and it shows several parts of the movie. I mean, the daughter, first of all, she's a drug addict, and the part where he's actually going and taking her out of the drug house that was pretty big. I thought something was going to go down, but luckily they were able to just scoop her up in the middle of the night and take her home. I
always imagine what that's like to have a father that cares that much for you, that he would intervene in your life to, correct yourself or correct you. Because she was down a deep, dark path. She was almost down there passed out high.
Yeah.
I'm like, golly, I don't want to ever be that high. That's too high for me. So I appreciated that. Now, one thing that I will say that bothered me a little bit, I talked about this on the video with Cat Williams. If you guys haven't seen that, check that out. That there is a pattern that you see in Hollywood when it comes to black audience or black people on screen, which is the reason why Black Panther was such a historical event, pretty much, because we've never seen black people on the screen like that. But in this movie, we revert all the way back to what I'm used to seeing, and that is only negative black kids, or men, or women. A lot of times, White Boy Rick was standing. He was like he's in the water, and he was around ass shaking the whole time.
Right, he's at the party,
and then he hooks up with a couple black girls. Now, does that bother me that much? No. Does it happen? Sure, but in Hollywood, that always happens. You never see two strong, a black couple, a man and a woman. It's always, either he's a dope head or he's abusive or she just gets with the white guy all the time. And I point that out. I never bring it up on the channel because I just felt like a lot of people who watch movies aren't that deep into it. And if you haven't been taught to see that all the time,
right,
you probably won't. You're like, what? What are you talking about?
And it's so funny because the things that he points out to me a lot, it's like I start seeing it not only on the movies that we start watching, but like other movies that I've seen in the past or other shows that I watch that I currently watch, and I'm like, oh, I bet you not, black guy, he's on the chopping block. He's not going to make it past this round. And
right.
Sure enough, I mean, it doesn't matter how well they do. It's just like when they have him right next to the other, white dude or whoever. It just, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of sad. I mean, whether you want to say it's like, oh no, well they wanted to show more diversity in the movie or whatever it is, it's just like, but why not just show them in a good light?
It's a pattern, and I'm like,
it does,
golly.
and I can't fight it, because it is what it is. They're the ones making this movie.
Right, so I'm gonna start pointing it out, and I'm probably gonna take off maybe half a point or to a point, depending on how
that's what I do.
Bad it looks.
Whenever I see that, we've been Scooby-Dooed, where the villain ends up being the one who hired the hero, or has something to do with the main source of contacting the hero and getting them involved, I take off half a point. That's not original. Because the villain didn't come from nowhere and into the movie. It was in plain view, you know?
Right.
And this is how I feel about that scenario. It's not original. It's not unique.
Right, so we're going to start doing that to see if we get maybe some deeper viewers.
Right.
So would you say that if... So this scenario where the cops come to Rick and say, hey, do these drugs.
Right.
And become an informant.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have done that and not told your dad? Or
oh man,
would you have told your dad? Because I'm like, Daddy!
Yeah, exactly.
These police is telling me to sell drugs.
Right. No, absolutely. Especially if I'm that young. And, I mean, and especially me being in my house in that kind of situation, it's just like, I can't lock my doors or anything. My folks are going to find out. My dad's going to find out, and it's just not going to be good,
No privacy.
Yeah, absolutely not. It's like I'm living under his house, it's all good. But it's just, you're young, and you don't know what to think. So automatically, you should go to your parents because of that, especially getting the cops involved and knowing what the dad is doing as far as, like, he's slinging, like, guns and stuff. Like, this is just one more thing to tack on. Guns and drugs, oh, this is a bad combo.
Right, you don't know how to navigate this world. So, to not tell your parents something that's that big,
right? I'm
like, nope, I guess I'm a snitch. Because I'm telling. The police got me trying to sell some drugs.
Right.
What should we do, Dad?
Yeah.
They gonna lock you up if I don't.
Exactly.
Then I let the adult handle the situation.
Right.
But I've always been like that. I've never been the whole, if someone tells me, don't tell your mom, don't tell your dad, I'm telling.
Yeah.
Because I've seen all these stories, what happens. These teachers telling the kid, don't tell your parents.
Right.
No, now you got a semen filled cookie. You got to tell. I'm just saying. You probably don't know that story, but there's a story. A teacher putting semen on cookies, feeding the kids with their eyes closed. Don't tell your parents. No, I'm telling.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I'd have told.
I mean, that kind of goes with almost anything that I feel like in my inner circle. I don't keep too many people close, and if somebody's telling me, like, hey, don't tell, so and so, like, immediately flags go up. It's like, I'm telling them immediately.
Well, damn, I'm not gonna tell you no secrets.
Better not. I mean, if you want to keep them secrets, it's gonna be one of those things like, yo, Derek told me not to tell you, so don't tell nobody.
I trust this dude, man. What's going on? Right on the camera.
Hey, man, I gotta tell
you. Got
you.
it on record, though, so.
I cannot tell a lie.
You don't have to tell a lie, just omit.
Oh, man. It's pretty tough. But yeah, stuff like that. And to me, it seems like, I don't know if it was believable or not, but let's just say it was, because, I mean, the sake of the story, to move it along.
Hey, we're not fact-checking, so let's just say it happened.
Yeah, I mean, these cops, I mean, they're in it for themselves. Everyone is in it for themselves, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether or not they're gonna, do you a favor and, okay, you do this for us and we're not gonna put your dad behind bars, or do this for us and we're not gonna put you behind bars, or we'll put in a good word for you and,
So they did take care of him when he got shot. When he got shot, that was pretty jacked up.
Well, yeah.
I could see it coming, though.
Yeah.
As I'm watching him, oh, here we go.
The actor, the young black kid that went into the house that day, I'm kind of was wondering, like, why the scene was kind of going on like the way that it was. Like, well, what are they doing here?
And, right, because he's never came over.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that he I don't know, the actor was really good about it. He had a good look on his face as far as, like, something was going to go down. And then
he's like, you want some water? Oh, yeah. Let me get some water.
Like, no. You want a soda? Yeah.
Why you gotta correct me? Water.
Soda. Hey, man. These things happen. But, I mean, the way that it actually went down, I was like, oh, dang.
One thing I don't like about that scene, though, is we don't know who the hell found Rick. Because Rick was home alone.
So the one thing I only have to say, and that's right, they don't tell us, and it leaves me to think like, okay, maybe it was the neighbors, but we know that the grandma and grandpa live right across the street. So, hey, I heard a gunshot. Let me go check on. Oh my goodness.
Okay, fine.
But they weren't at the hospital or nothing. So we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. Thank you. We don't know.
Yeah.
It's a flaw.
It's a flaw.
Stop trying to make it up for him.
It's for sure a flaw. But that's just me. Like, I'm like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, I just like everything to make sense.
Yeah.
You know, because he kind of, you know, passed out as if he was dead.
That was a big deal. I thought he was going to die right then and there. Because, I mean, like, you get the wind knocked out of you.
Right, I thought it was going to be he died and then Matthew McConaughey takes over and kills all the other people.
I really thought.
That's what I thought it was going to happen.
Down. I was like, and then this half of the movie, it's like Matthew McConaughey
Right.
as John Wick.
Right. Right.
It's like, let me put a couple of guns in here and go
But he
handle.
couldn't even do it, though.
Nah.
But you know what? I thought that spoke to his humanity.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point of trying to go kill someone else because all it is just retaliation.
Right.
You kill them, they kill you, or your daughter, or whatever.
Right.
You know, so I liked how he kept his humanity and didn't, you know, go that far.
Right. Like, even though he was, you know, selling drugs out the trunk of his car, you know, he even says later on in the movies, like, the guns are in the Constitution. Drugs are not in the Constitution. You have the right to bear arms, you know? But, you know, yes, it's kind of flawed, but he kind of has some characteristics of a person that is trying to do the right thing. It's just like, I'm just selling the good. It's like I'm selling Snickers out of my car. It's not going to hurt no one. You know, that was his mentality, you know?
Yeah,
and I
you know,
kinda
but he had silencers. I don't think he was that.
Silencers.
He wasn't that innocent.
No, absolutely not. Especially...
But it was circumstantial.
I think one of the big parts, even about that, too, is that knowing that Rick saw that... there was a drive-by or whatnot, and one of these little boys' brothers got killed. And
messed up.
I honestly thought that he was going to go tell his dad, we can't be doing this no more. Or I'm going to take the guns and throw them in the river or something like that. I thought that was going to be a big turning point, and it really wasn't.
No, but I mean, that's the environment that they're in. Like, when the police asked him to look at the photos, he was like, that dude been dead.
Yeah.
He been dead. So, death is like a normal thing. We're talking about... with Detroit,
yeah,
that is Detroit and Chicago, two cities I don't ever want to go to. I'm good. I don't care what they say. Oh, the northern part is the good part. I don't know what the northern part is.
Yeah.
And all you gotta do is just have someone just drive up to the northern part and get your ass. And I'm good on that. So they can keep those two cities. But so I understand, like, death is kind of, that's normal. It ain't a big deal. You know, so I kind of understood why he reacted like that.
Absolutely. It plays to his world, really. You know, like, this is the world they live in. You know, and this is how they got to keep going and surviving. You know.
Okay, so now this part, not for kids. Okay, so go ahead and mute or turn it off because I'm about to mention something. Is it a rated R movie?
It is rated R.
It's rated R movie. It's rated R, kids.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be watching it anyway.
Right.
So let's just talk about one of the first scenes when the daughter runs out the house with her panties and her t-shirt and her panties on. Oh, y'all know that song. But anyway,
no.
It's a good song. And she tries to run after the dude because the father comes in with the AK.
Right.
And he's like, get out of my house. So the dude leaves. He ain't even faded about that.
But he
gun.
knew the guy. He knew the guy too.
Yeah, but someone come in with an AK?
Right, he's just like, oh man.
Right, he's like, oh, this dude tripping again.
Yeah, exactly.
Our daddy always tripping. And he leaves, and this chick runs out the house with just panties and a shirt on.
Right.
In Detroit, it's freezing.
It's freezing.
She's just running, chasing the car.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, dang, she want that dick.
Yeah.
She gonna get that dick, boy.
Dude.
She like, it ain't over yet.
Yeah.
I was like, golly, it ain't that serious. You caught.
Yeah.
Next weekend, okay?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
He got a car. Y'all can do it in the car.
Right, exactly.
She's super thirsty.
Very, very. And so, I mean, even up until later that night, that she just ends up like, shh, here's my number, you know, call me. Like, tells the little brother, he's like, I'm leaving. You know?
I gotta go get the D. I can't be up in here no more. That's what it was like.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
She was really thirsty.
She wanted for real.
Oh, man. But you know what? It wasn't... It showed that there was, like, more layers to that, though. Because, I mean, he was a drug dealer. She was a druggie. It wasn't even about that. She was trading something for the drugs. So
yeah,
she was giving it up, you know?
Absolutely. I'm not saying that, it was unwarranted or didn't have, backstory to it, because being in a broken home like that, the mom leaves.
The mom left.
Like, dang, your mama leave?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be someone that, that's your confidant. That's your, your comfort zone, your spiritual backbone, The dad is more like just affirmations. Good job, son. Good job, daughter. But your mom, that's supposed to be like your spiritual hug, And if I have her just leave, like, dude.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's kind of shattering, especially to a little girl.
Yeah.
So there was definitely, it was warranted, but it was just funny to me.
And I do like the way that the dad kind of put it, was just like, I raise you guys, and you guys are, good. I'm proud of you. And and then Rick turns around, it's like, yeah, but she was a druggie, and I got a hole in my stomach,
He's a glass half full guy.
Yeah, he was. He was very positive.
He's like, well, she ain't on a pole.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
it's like, and you're still alive.
Right. you ain't dead. Yeah. So, I appreciate that spirit, because sometimes it's hard to break out of that spirit when you live in those type of conditions. So I can appreciate someone that has that type of spirit. Even when he went to go see his son in jail, he had the biggest smile.
Right.
Even though I feel like if I was in jail, I need you to stop smiling like that.
Right. Because
I'm not on the other side. It ain't nothing to really be smiling at that hard.
Right.
He was like,
yeah.
Hey son,
I got some good news. You're getting out in about 6 years. Huh?
I'm like, bro, I need you to calm down and smile.
Dude.
Bring the cheeks down.
Right.
Because I'm not understanding. I'm in jail,
man.
Pops.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting movie. There's a lot of things that happened. It just wasn't like, to me, it wasn't a necessary, like, gotta get this made. Because honestly, there's a lot of black people who end up in the same predicament.
I think that was a good point, was that, like, at the very beginning, when he does get in with the dealers, they tell him, like, stuff that you would do, like getting out and shooting a guy that's stealing your car. If any of us were to do it, that's a life sentence.
Yeah, you're going to do white boy time.
Right.
You're going to do black people time.
Right.
And it's going to be two totally different sentences. Which
Right.
it is. But sometimes the white folks get caught up in the system that they created.
Right.
And
this was a good point.
This what happened. Just like How to Make a Murderer.
Right. Yeah.
Where he got caught up in the system, just like we would. You can look up the Gina 6. Those kids didn't do nothing, didn't kill no one, didn't even fight nobody. Well, no, they did fight. But they didn't, like, hurt anybody. And they got 130 years. It was like 500 years total or something like that. Don't quote me on the actual year, but it was a lot of years total for a non-lethal offense. More like battery, really. So that's what happened. So I'm like, well, I mean, hey, Rick, gotta blame your own people for that.
Yeah, that was nuts. At the end of the movie, they kind of show us, like, who got out of it or whatever, what ended up happening from it. His dad ended up passing away while he was in prison.
Yeah, that was pretty sad.
That was really sad.
But his daughter got married with 2 kids.
Yeah, his daughter had some kids, So
that's cool.
That's something to look forward to. He ended up getting out after, 30?
Oh, he's up for parole.
Oh, parole. Okay, yeah.
But we don't know if it went through or not or whatever.
Right.
But I think they had a call. He said that this would be my... Well, we don't know if it went through, actually.
Yeah.
He could have just been talking. He's like, this is finally being parole after 30 years in jail.
Yeah.
But we don't know if he actually... It didn't say he's free.
Right. So he's like 40-something, 50 then, right?
Yeah, like 47.
Yeah.
48, something like that.
And,
so, kids, just say no to drugs.
Exactly.
And guns. And don't fight nobody.
Yeah.
And if you do, punch them in the stomach. Don't hit them in the head because they might fall back and die. So
yeah.
punch them in the stomach. Bah!
Yeah. Liver shot.
Right. The liver. Sorry. Alright, guys. That is our discussion of White Boy Rick. Let us know what you thought. If it made you laugh, again, go ahead and hit that like button. If it made you think, go ahead and comment. And you want to see our faces every week, go ahead and hit that subscription button with that notification bell. And where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Pwnedpops. That's Pwnedpops. Make custom figures.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Stuff like that.
Right.
Some Dragon Ball Z.
And you can check me out on, it should be us, but it's just me right now.
Yeah.
But I'm going to just throw that guilt trip. You can find me on all of our social media at Break Room Blitz on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Okay?
Twitter.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
All right. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Well, let me turn it off first.
Yeah.
Then you can go.